Okay, so it's 6:51 p.m. It's Saturday, and I wanted to make a video on my week, how my week went, on a weekly reflection, kind of how my week went, how good it's been, just overall how my week went, just a little week reflection. But this week went decent. It was like a 6 out of 10, honestly. You just have those weeks sometimes where you're just not on point. You just have those weeks sometimes where you're not as focused as much, you're not executing as much as you want to, and you're just not getting as much stuff as you usually get done. So that's why I wanted to make this reflection, because honestly last week sucked and this week started off way better, on a way better track, and it was decent, like a 6 out of 10. But I'm definitely glad to know that the week coming in 2 days is just going to do so much better. Probably like a 8 out of 10. But yeah, I was just having a lot of focus problems, executing, just not getting as much done as I would want to. But it's fine. I'm not going to let it weigh me down and ruin my week, because I know next week's probably going to make up for it, even if it's just 2 points higher, at like maybe like an 8, like a 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, I'm always willing to open up about how my weeks went and whether I actually did good or if I did bad, and just be able to be very transparent and open on just how my weeks went, because I know a lot of people like to make it seem like they're this perfect routined person every single day, and I don't really think it's super hard to be consistent straight. At the same time, I always just like to be transparent and be able to share and show that you don't have to look to this person that's doing all these things, building all these things, and think that they never mess up, or that you have to think that they're perfect, and that might make you a little bit upset. And it shouldn't anyways. You should be very happy to see people doing great. You should be able to be happy for them and not be resenting or having resentment in your heart. But don't let it weigh you down, because sometimes I'll slip up and not wake up at the time I want to. Sometimes I'll not be focused. Sometimes I'll barely get anything done in the day sometimes. But it's just all part of the journey. But I know most of the days, most of what's going to matter is going to be on the better side. What's going to actually be me, what I'm proud of. So don't let it weigh you down if you think someone just always emphasizing this perfect look that they always are. But yeah, I'm actually making this video outside. But yeah, the nice thing about this week though is that it was kind of overcasted the whole week and it rained. And the only reason why I like overcast and rain is just because I just think it helps so much with focus, and it's just kind of like calm and just very like reflective. Sunny days always just, which I love sunny days, but they always just make you so energetic, like you want to jump out of your skin, at least with me, because that's all this week has looked like. In the last week was just work, and like I barely even got to the gym this week because I was just inside working. But yeah, so overall the gym, like a 3 out of 10. I don't really look to gym as this like magical cool habit. It's something I know I'll always keep doing in the future. I've been working out consistently since like 7th grade, I think, towards the end of my 7th grade. So it's always just been something with me, is just working out. I'm gonna move the camera because that's kind of loud. So yeah, but honestly, that is just a big goal overall, and just with anyone, just try to be consistent every day, because there is definitely some people that you can look up to, and people to look up to with that's built such great minds and empires or corporations or businesses, and these are the most consistent people you'll ever meet, just every single day, just going so hard. So don't think it's not possible. Don't think that there isn't some people that are at this level that every single day it's just the same thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is some days that I'll wake up late, Some days I'll not be as focused. Some days I won't really execute as much work as I would want to. Some days are just really bad. Some days you don't get to the gym. Some days you don't do very important stuff in your business, whatever it might be. Don't try to expect every day is going to be perfect. And like I said, nothing will ever be perfect. But honestly, I think humans are pretty perfect, made by a very great creator, and he didn't make it to be less than perfect, honestly. I've always felt that way because I do think everything is a reflection to that of like the origin. So like if a great book author writes a great book, that book is just a reflection of him. If a great entrepreneur makes a great business, that business is just a reflection of him. In your relationship, if your girlfriend likes to go out clubbing and drinking and have all these guy friends that might not be so trustworthy, she's just a reflection of you. There's never such thing as a relationship with just one bad person, because you would have just never got yourself in a relationship with such a toxic person if you really were the good person. And yeah, I just think the creator of all this stuff, God, whatever you want to say, wouldn't want to make anything less than perfect, anything that reflects less than perfect to him, because we're kind of just a reflection of this awesome place that he's made. Yeah, it's super hard, and there's tons of pains here that sometimes don't make sense in the beginning. I know it's hard to see. Sometimes we go through such painful times, such hard times, like it's hard to be able to see through it. It's hard to be able to tell just what's going on and, you know, what's the purpose of the situation. But you just have to understand that everything will always work out in your favor. You just have to believe it is. But anyways, yeah, this week it went alright. Just like a 6 out of 10. Not too good, but not too bad. So just a 6. Just kind of focus and execution problems, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's all I was doing was working this week. But I'm excited to say that next week's just going to go so much better. And I know that for a fact. I always say this week's going to always make the bare minimum for how this next week should go. And just 2 days from now. But yeah, gym didn't really go much. Maybe like 3 times. And that's really it. But yeah, overall, it was alright. But every single day, just go at it, because if you're even gonna bother to try, if you're even gonna bother to be the best person you could, or the person that can reach their fullest potential, or a person that builds such a great thing, you can't be half in, you can't be 75%, not even 100% in. You have to be 200% in. There will be no balance. Because if you're going to try, you have to try at the max. And if you don't want to try at the max, then don't even bother. That's what it takes. But that's what makes it so fulfilling. If there was no pain, if there was no hard times, if there was no times where you can't just see past this like smoke, it would just be so unfulfilling. It wouldn't make sense. But anyways, yeah. So that's in this video. And yeah, so this week overall, 6 out of 10. And hopefully I'll make a video this week on just that weekly reflection, how much better I did, and if I actually do end up getting an 8 out of 10 next week and not another 6 out of 10. But I do definitely believe that this week set the bare minimum for next week. Anyways, that is the end of this video, and feel free to subscribe if you want to keep following my journey and seeing all the things that come next, and deep reflections and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see y'all next video.